podcast. Imagine I actually talk like that.
Oh my God, man!
You would
leave.
love it.
I
You would
don't
love
know.
it.
That's some weird stuff.
That's right. We're doing another podcast where we're going to be talking about cars and wheels. What did you expect we were going to be talking about?
Do I really have to bring out my Kermit right now? Like, is this how we're doing the podcast?
Well, you have some of the headphone on
I
you,
do
yeah.
have it on me. Yeah, I
yeah.
figured.
Well, it's
We
gonna stay there from
we
now on.
only operate with the best equipment here, obviously.
Well, how you doing, everyone? Thank you for joining us for another Wheel Wednesday podcast. Thank you for being here with us and always supporting us. Real quick, just wanted to do some maintenance.
Well, wait. What's your name?
Oh, sorry. My name is Luis. I'm from Koenig Wheels, and this is my esteemed buddy.
Jared, the marketing coordinator at Koenig Wheels.
So boring. Yeah.
Got to keep it somewhat professional.
All right. Well, all right. So, quick maintenance I wanted to do with you guys. This Friday, we're going to be releasing some cool content.
Yep.
We're going to be doing another garage tour, and this is going to be with my man, Tony Fuentes. He has a new garage called The Auto Shop. I'm telling you, you guys are going to love this. He has some really cool cars in there. Max did a great edit with that. I'm excited to see it. It's very clean, very, you know what? If you're a car fan, if you're a supercar fan, this is the one for you.
There you go.
All right.
And now, what else? Oh, so normally we do these podcasts at 3, but our special guest, who we're going to intro and bring in a sec, we had to do it at 4 because, you know, he has kids like an actual adult, unlike us two.
Yeah, we have no kids,
So,
no
yeah.
responsibilities.
But
Also, make sure you check out the last podcast, which we had our friend Trappy from Keep Gunning.
oh yeah,
Those guys are hilarious. I love when they're, talking to those guys.
yeah.
So make sure you check that out. It's a funny one. It's a good one. Don't miss out on that one. And after this special guest that we have, we're actually going to bring in our boy from VTech Academy, Brian Gillespie, where Scott's going to be on that one with you guys. Just because they have a great rapport. They're friends. They've known each other for a long time. Might as well let them catch up. Yeah.
Indeed.
But anyways, so without further ado, drum roll, please. Can you give me a drum roll? Yeah. We're bringing in our special guest, one of the coolest automotive mechanic YouTubers. His name is the one and only Jose from D.I.Y gang. Woo!
Yo, maybe put the headphones on so we can hear him.
Well, he's not on the screen, though.
Well, but hold on. He'll get there.
Oh.
There
he is. Can you hear
What's
us?
going on, guys?
That's right. We have Jose from D.I.Y gang in the house. How are you doing, my brother? How's everything?
I'm good.
Good.
Very good. A little tired, but I'm good.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Trust me, we were just watching the channel, and I know you. Well, every project is, this dude is working hard, so
just grinding.
trust me,
man.
we see it,
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're exhausted, and we really appreciate that you're taking the time to be with us.
No problem, man. No problem. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys are having me. Honestly, it's still surreal for me. Like, it's just crazy. I decided to pick up a camera, and here I am 2 years later, still having fun and being able to do this. So, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that's probably the perfect segue to ask you when did you decide to do a YouTube channel?
What's funny is actually, for years I was always telling my wife, because behind the scenes before, this is something that a lot of people don't know, but before this whole YouTube thing, we actually used to work on cars like legit. I know some people, they get into it now and all this other stuff, but behind the scenes I always said I want to do YouTube, but I always kept putting it off. And then finally, I just seen so many people that were taking off from doing YouTube and just fixing cars, and I'm like, damn, I could do that. And I was like, I told her, because I obviously got late into the game. I've only been doing YouTube for I think like 2 years now, I think it's going to be 2.5 years, whatever. And it's crazy because, when you get late into it, there's so many people already out, and then it's like they have their following. And so it's like, how are you going to be able to do anything to either top or separate yourself a little bit from everyone else? And yeah, that's when I came up with the burnt Hellcat idea. It just kind of fell on my lap, and
that's what I was about to talk about. I was like, literally, let's talk about the burnt Hellcat. How did you even come up with that idea? I mean, that's obviously a very unique thing to do. There's a reason why it has 37 million views. You know what I mean?
Like it's that's the crazy part. Like, I still can't believe, like, oh my God, if I tell you guys, like, we'd be here for way longer than an hour. I'll tell you all that. But long story short, I was just starting out. I didn't know how to even use a smartphone. Like, I had a flip phone. It was crazy. Like, I was just very new to technology. I was very dumb. My brother-in-law started my Instagram, and I didn't want to buy a camera because I didn't know how to use any of that stuff. So I figured, let me just grab a phone. If I can just buy a decent phone, use the camera for that, and use it for everything, then at least that way, I felt like I can handle that. And fast forward, I remember this kid, actually John Stacks. I had 300 subscribers, and this kid who had like 20,000 reached out to me and was like, "Hey man, I see what you're doing. You're good with obviously what your work wise, and you're good on camera, but you need to step your game up because you can't really be doing regular cars and expect to stand out, especially so late in the game. These guys doing Hellcats, GTRs, and whatever car you could think of." And he's like, "Dude, you need to get into the Hellcats." And I remember we looked around, and I was broke, like dead broke, like as broke as you can. Like my third paycheck was already counted for, and I remember I had seen this obliterated Hellcat, like the front end was gone, and I'm thinking like, all right, I'm gonna get it for cheap, and so I'm super excited. Hopes are up. Bid starts happening. The thing goes for about 13 grand, and I was like, what the hell? I don't have $13,000. I cannot just call a family member and say, hey, can you lend me XYZ money? Like that's just it's impossible in my world, And I was like defeated, and I remember that night I was just like talking to my wife, and I'm like, man, God, I need a break. And the following day, I kid you not, the following day, I seen that Hellcat pop up, and like sometimes when you're on Copart, it just I typed in Hellcat and it popped right up
every day.
And, huh?
It's every day.
This guy's on Copart. Like sometimes I'm like, man, like get to work, buddy.
Yeah, no, dude, it was so. Here, let me move the camera. My wife is saying it's a little glitchy, but yeah. So, anyways, sorry, I need to go more to the. The garage has horrible signal. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
I don't want the story to get ruined.
We're getting a little garage tour at the same time, so it's all good.
Yeah. No garage tour. My garage is a mess right now. But listen, so the car, I see the car, and I'm just like, that is the car. It's like I already knew, set in stone, I am buying that car. Like it was so weird. And I told my wife, it was like a 5.5 hour drive because it was like upstate New York. And I went with a buddy of mine. And when I got there, I looked it over and I was like, this is it. This is gonna be the car that makes me. Like I am going to I don't know what it was, the weirdest thing, but I just knew it was gonna work. And I bought the car, and I went that first month. I think I went from like 300 subscribers to like over 50,000. Like in the first month, it just started. My channel was taking off, and
wow,
it did help that I was putting in work. Like, see, so like there's like a double-edged sword to YouTube that a lot of people don't really know about, and it's like YouTube is great and it's fun and you can do a lot of awesome things, but I think even Mr. Beast talked about this. It's like it's hard when you're taking such a workload on and putting all the like trying to do everything. You will burn out. Like there was a point where I got so tired and so burnt out because the amount of work that I was putting out, the amount of videos I was doing, because it wasn't just like here I'm working and then I have someone here pass this and just edit this. I'm working for about 12 hours a day to then go home and then edit for like 4 or 5 hours to then put a video out, sleep for 2 hours, and then repeat that. And at the same time, thank God I had a supportive wife, because we have kids, so it's like I'm doing all of this, also having a family behind the scenes, and it's not like I'm just some bachelor guy, like living my life. It took a big toll, and the amount of time that we managed to get it done with all the hurdles that we had to jump through. And again, it's not like we have like a big old piggy bank where we could just pull from and just, hey, sometimes things take longer. Even now people are seeing that with the bigger channels because of this whole COVID thing, on how parts, which are like huge to projects, everyone knows you can do as much work as you want, but if you're waiting on parts, it's at a standstill, and it's tiring, and that was, yeah, it's, oh my God, it sucks. Yeah, you guys know, you freaking with the rims and everything. I talked to Scott about that, and it has been very hard on everyone. So, at that moment, or at that time though, when we were doing the channel, things were taking off. We were freaking putting out videos, and I was working my tail off. And like I said, thank God I had an understanding wife. But yeah, that car I knew was going to be big for my channel. And I think what was crazy is the time when I was like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna do something else, because I didn't know what to do. My mind was just so exhausted. The hours just got to me because, like I said, I'm not joking when I said I was working 2 to 3. I mean, I was sleeping 2 to 3 hours a day max. Like I was lighting the candle at both ends, you know, and it takes a toll. And yeah, it took a big toll. People wanted to call me a crybaby, and I'm just like, hey, trust me, you know, there's a reason why that video went viral, because that kind of work in that amount of time, it's just unheard of, you know, and most people would have just gave up halfway through, you know, and I seen it through even with everything. And yeah, here we are today. It was crazy too, because I remember when the only reason why the video, there was a kid, Motion Auto TV. He had the super.
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah.
Trevor. Yeah. Trevor had dropped the video of building a super. That's when everyone got the whole building XYZ car in minutes.
Yeah.
He was the one that I guess dropped the video, and someone on Facebook picked it up, and it just went viral on Facebook, and then it like took off on that. And I'm like, I was telling my wife, I'm like, babe, if we can just get 1 million views, I would be happy, just because that'll help us, you know? Yeah. And I remember I just made the video, and like I just took all those videos. I swear I had like 55 videos of that build, and I condensed, I don't even know how many hours into a 15-minute video in like 4 hours. I just did this, threw this together. Like I'm like Ratatouille, like just making it happen. And the thing is, I wasn't expecting it to take off at all. Like I was like, if we get 1 million, great. If we don't, like it is what it is. She was looking for working, and I'm just like, hey man, things happen for a reason. And I remember we dropped a video on YouTube. It'll tell you like how your video is compared to your 10 most recent videos.
Oh my God.
And that video was like number 10 for like a week. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you know, damn man, like I thought this was gonna be good for us, whatever. And sure enough, it got picked up on Facebook from those same people. And I remember when Trevor's video was on their page for, I think it was about a day or I think a week. I don't know. I don't remember the time frame, but it was still at like 3 million views. When my video went on their page, when they picked it up, it did like 5 in under 24 hours. And then it just started the wildfire of what you guys know is like one of the most viewed. Yeah, it was just, I think that's one of the most viewed automotive videos. It sits at like 37 to 38 million. Like it's just, but it's because of what the hell it is. Like it's a lot of freaking work. Like it's,
well, it's, I mean, it's apparent. I mean, literally, when you start watching the beginning of the video, you're like, what the hell is he gonna do with that?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
And then the way it comes out, you're like, holy mackerel! It looks like it's just something that is unimaginable what you did, and you know the work. Obviously, you put in the work, and yeah, man, that's the reason why. I
still look at that video like, where the hell did I have the energy to do that? But I wanted it so bad, and yeah, I really wanted to get myself out there, and yeah, it worked. It worked. It was tiring, you know, but it definitely worked, and I am definitely thankful for all of it. It sucks because I wish I would have had, because at that time when I showed the video in the car, it wasn't even like the way it is now, where I had the wide body and everything, because Dodge was blocking everyone from getting wide body kits and all this stuff. But yeah, the car looks freaking amazing. It runs great. Yeah, I can't wait to take it to Florida to be stupid with it, because that's, yeah.
There you go.
Well, so, and I wanted to ask, because I know that you went on to do more builds, and one of them was the McLaren. Now, what I remember from that video is that you basically were like, never again. But I had fun. Like, was that like a tough build, or?
Yeah, it's you know, the thing with McLaren, and this is where a lot of people don't realize the support that McLaren has, and it's like, you know, people talk about, like, remember when everyone was dropping the Lamborghini? Beast for Bill had the Lambo, Goon Squad had the Lambo, and then it's like, I could have picked up a Lambo, but I'm like, why do a Lambo? Everyone else is doing it. Like, that's just, you know, it just seems like, you know, you're just following the trend. I'm like, let's do a McLaren. Yeah, I wish I would have did a Ferrari or something, because McLaren has no support at all. Like, if there's anyone that can understand, I think, my pain now, it's because they did it, is B2. And because even he'll tell you, like, they're not easy. It's on top of the fact that the parts are scarce, they're really hard to come by. You think of this, you call McLaren, you say, hey, listen, I own such and such vehicle, I have all the paperwork to prove everything. It's like, and I asked him, like, hey, can you tell me where like the airbag computer is located? Can you just tell me where it's at? Oh no, sorry, sir, for safety reasons and blah blah. And it's like, I own the car though. What do you mean for safety reasons? Like, everyone else and their mother has, you know, some type of or like they'll help you out a little bit, or even the paint, something as dumb as the paint. They will not give you or anyone the paint code unless you're a McLaren certified shop. And I guess the way it works is they'll take the VIN, they'll bottle or the whatever the color chip of the car is, they'll make the paint, send it to that shop. The shop sprays whatever, and then all the leftover paint has to get bottled and sent back to the McLaren. It's like the dumbest thing ever. Like, it makes no sense. And
I think the funniest part about McLaren is that it would be cool if their cars didn't fall apart, but like those things are always falling apart.
Yeah, man, it's
so it's like who do you guys think you are? Like, what are you doing?
They're great cars, but it's just like for a fender to hold up, it's like 12 brackets per fender. It's the stupidest design ever. Like I understand you want to hand build stuff, but like there's just so many things. And again, it's not to bash on them because the cars look cool. I gotta say they are one of the coolest looking cars. I will give them that. But the amount of hassle that a person has to go through on trying to rebuild them or get parts for them and all this other stuff, it's almost like what Rich goes through with the Teslas. Like it's they have this blockage, and it's like you would think they would want to help get their name out there, and it's like they don't want to be associated. I feel like they don't want to be associated with people fixing the cars or I don't know. Like it's stupid to me. It's like you have to be super rich, and they don't want nobody working on their cars. But if you look at their track record of even their windshields, which is another issue, they have like a recall on all their windshields. I hope I don't get like smashed for this, but they have a recall on all their windshields from the 570s all the way to the Sennas. Like they're when I picked up the windshield for the car, at I forgot what this place was, but the guy's telling me, he's like, yeah, man, they're selling all recalled windshields because they don't have none available. You know, their glasses, I guess, are too thin, and they were known for cracking.
It reminds me a lot of, I don't know if you follow Formula Drift at all, but it reminds me a lot about Michael Essa before he joined up with FCP Euro. BMW didn't care about anything that he was doing.
Well, I think that's like a thing. Sometimes they just don't want to. Certain companies, like example McLaren, probably just don't want people to touch their cars and want to keep it, to some nostalgia or something like that.
Yeah, it's like I did their car better than they did it. Like, freaking, like I'm not even gonna lie. That's not even trying to act like I'm. Listen, I freaking fixed that car in the back of my dad's house. It was the funniest thing because I'm like using a broom to hold up the hood while I'm trying to like hold everything together. It's the funniest thing. And the thing that really gets to me is just a lot of these companies. And I guess for all car people, I want everyone to understand this because I know sometimes people, they see a vehicle and they're like, oh, I can't do that, or I can't work on this, or, I'm afraid of that. First of all, I didn't go to school for any of this crap. I learned this crap all on my own. I never took no technical schooling. This is all self-taught, and just watching YouTube videos of people doing things and then just going out and figuring it out myself. Now, I will say that whether it's a freaking Bugatti or whether it's a Honda Civic, minus the price tag or exclusivity, at the end of the day, it's a bunch of parts put together. It's not something that's like out of this world, like a rocket. Like it's not, it's not rocket science. They take these cars, they put them together. Now, obviously, you got to give respect for the design on how they look and everything. That I will give. Obviously, you can't compare the look of a Pagani to a Honda Civic. But in the end, it's put together by nuts and bolts or glue. And they throw a motor in, and it's just, and they put a price tag on it. It's whatever the person decides or wants to pay. That's just the way it is. The reason why there's companies like Pagani and all these other big companies that make a lot of money is because the customers they want are the exclusive customers that know they cannot. It's not like a bunch of people can have it, only an exclusive amount. That's why you see Rolexes, all these big companies that will make a bunch of money because why? They want those customers that they're going to attract to know that, listen, this is exclusive. Not many people are going to be able to obtain or have this, and they want that exclusivity. But at the end, man, listen, it's going to drive down the damn road the same freaking way. Like, it's
100%.
That's just to me. And again, I'm not biased towards any company. I know a lot of people think that, hey, he does Dodges or this. If it could put a smile on my face, I don't care what car it is. I'm not biased to any specific brand or anything like that. I love cars, period.
There
which
you go.
helps.
So then maybe tell us a little bit about why you got into the Hellcat Miata, because you're talking about how you like all sorts of cars, but
so the way the story Jesus, I don't know. All right, so the story behind the Hellcat Miata. Now, I wish I would have recorded more, but I'm not gonna Yeah, whatever. All right. So the way it all happened was, Car. Shout out to Car. There's no animosity. I don't have no hate towards anyone. Life is too damn busy. I'm good. But what happened was my channel was taken off. He had reached out to me, and I try to respond to people. It's just you're getting so many freaking people. Or my wife told me to shout out to Arthur Tusik. It's that Polish guy that's just like an amazing body guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, huge shout out to him because that was like the godfather of who I would watch for like every day.
Nice.
But I met up with Car reached out to me, and he was just telling me how he was part of the Haggard Garage. I guess they were real big up here for us, like in the whole Northeast region.
Mm-hmm.
This group of guys are doing a bunch of fun stuff with their cars, and I guess he was a mechanic for one of them. And he was like, yeah, man, I see your channel's taking off. Any pointers or anything, I want to do, or any shout outs? And I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. I don't freaking care. What's up? And at the time, he had mentioned that he wanted to do a Miata, a Barra swap Miata. At the time, I didn't know what that was. I was like, what the hell's a Barra swap? And I come to find out it was a Ford Australian motor that was like really popular. But a deal fell through. Things didn't work out. And I remember just telling him, like, dude, you see my channel's taking off with this Hellcat thing. You should do a Hellcat. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. You need to do a Hellcat because no one has done it. On the freaking algorithm is anyone with a Hellcat right now is going to get picked up off the algorithm, which if you notice, at one point, there was like 5 of us doing Hellcats. There was V-Tune, there was Goons, there was me, there was Condor, and I'm pretty sure it was other people just picking up Hellcats, and the algorithm was rewarding for that. So he was like, shoot, man, that might just work. So we're both looking, and then I end up finding one of these cars in Colorado, the one that he actually ended up picking up. And we worked out a deal, and because I needed parts anyways for Phoenix, but they just wanted the drivetrain. They wanted the motor and the transmission. Everything else they didn't really care for. And I was like, well, damn, that'll be perfect workaround. I went from having like no parts to having damn near everything I would pretty much need. And at that point, I remember behind the scenes, I was doing all these dealings, and people in the comments, he's not going to do it. He's going to just put everything in another car, blah, blah. And, it was funny to me because it's kind of like, Whistling Diesel, right? Love him or hate him. When he does something, it pisses people off, and it's going to just, it triggers something.
Yeah.
And I remember, that's why I knew Whistler was going to be a success, because I remember when I was chopping up one Hellcat to fix the other, and they were so mad about it. But it's like, if I don't do that, then they're going to say I lied. They're going to be like, oh, whatever. And at the end of the day, man, the only difference between all these cars, to be honest with you, from 2008 to 2021, Dodge is still using the same damn platform. The only difference is the drivetrain. It's the same platform from a V6 to a damn Demon. They're all the same. There's nothing special reinforced. Trust me, I've been through these cars. Like, I know them like inside and out. Yeah. So, I did that. Car ended up getting the rest of the stuff, and I did my builds, and he did his thing. And then later down the road, I guess they were selling it at Barrett, or something happened. I don't know the full gist of everything. I don't really want to. It's not my business. Yeah. But one of them crashes the car, and the guy that actually owns the vehicle, like the actual owner, we're good friends. He ends up calling me and was like, dude, the car was crashed. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I guess one of the guys said it was brake locked. They were at a show. They wanted to show off, I guess. The brakes locked up, car ended up in a ditch. I don't know the full story. That's what I was told. And so he's just like, listen, this car needs a lot of work, and, I wanted to work with you, or can you do this for me? And I'm like, dude, if I'm doing this, I want part ownership of that car, because, I'm not about to do, I'm not looking for money. I'd rather own part of something that's like crazy as that, because then I know the potential it has on YouTube, because it's a crazy build, you know, and if done properly, it could really break the internet, because it already did it once, and it was, and the thing is, now if you think about it, when it did it the first time, you notice there was not as many driving videos. And now, after me seeing everything that was actually wrong with it, and safety-wise, and why it wouldn't handle right, well, it's because you're not going to see many driving videos, because it was a death trap. You're not going to do a million driving videos if you know what's wrong with the car. So now that so whatever, he sends the car up to me, and I go through the whole thing, and now I'm almost done with the car. And no, it's not the kids that built the car. None of them are owners of it, just to put that out there to clarify. But yeah, I'm almost done with this car. For me, I look at it as like a crazy story, because the drivetrain that, like, all the cars that I have come across since my beginning of my YouTube career, all ended up back in my lap. If you think about it, the green car that we were using for parts, I used to fix Phoenix, and then the drivetrain was put in the Hellcat Miata. Now everything is back up here, along with the Hellcat Miata, which I had given the idea for it anyway. So now it's like, for me, I want to do that idea and that car justice because it is a cool concept. You know, no one's ever done it. No one's ever gonna try to replicate it. If they do, then I just say like everything else, it's gonna be a copycat. But you know, I can't wait to get it done because I want to bring it back to Cletus and Cars. I want to bring it back to Hoonigan. I want it to have the redemption that car deserves because it's a freaking cool project. Shit, I'll give you guys a ride in it because it's crazy.
Oh God.
Like, I'm in.
Yeah, it's an insane project. Like when I started fixing all the little things like the steering column, I remember I was just moving the car and my son was in the driver's seat. You know, when you're pushing your car, I'm telling him to steer to turn the wheel, just to move the car around the shop. Yeah. The entire column just fell on his lap while I'm pushing the car. And I'm like, what the heck? And they had one riv nut holding the entire column up. They had chopped up the actual OEM. You know how the OEM has the whole column to hold everything. All that was chopped off, So it's kind of like, things happen for a reason. I'm glad that, no one got hurt. But I feel like the accident that happened for that car was the best thing that could have happened to it because now it's getting done properly. And again, if this would have landed in anyone else's hands, just imagine the liabilities and the things that could have just happened. Like someone could have been killed with that car, 100%.
I'm
yeah,
excited. I'm excited to. Yeah.
Well,
I'm excited just to So now I'm gonna take you up on that. We're gonna go we got to go to Florida.
I was gonna say, how are we gonna do that now? We got to fly down to you instead of just driving, up to Connecticut.
Hey, well, if I'm ever visiting family or whatever, listen, you guys, you're more than welcome. If I'm visiting family or whatever, it'll be an awesome time. Trust me, you guys will not regret it. Like when I just did the steering column, and I'm sure you've seen the videos when I was doing the donuts and actually being able to drive this thing, I felt so safe and so good. And that thing handles so much better. Exhaust is in the back now, so it's like you can hear the supercharger, you can hear a clean exhaust. You're not nervous, it's a whole other experience, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's freaking awesome.
So this is super random, but figured you made the move for a reason. Why'd you choose to go up to Florida?
Down
to Florida, actually.
Yeah, right. Down to Florida. Well, number one is weather.
Yeah, of course.
I hate snow. I am tired of it, and because I'm just tired of it. I'm the only boy, so I gotta help. You're the one that's always called on. Now, I'm not saying I'm trying to abandon my family up here or nothing, but I'm just tired of shoveling snow. I'm tired of dealing with the snow. And as far as this car scene, and I feel like for the channel itself, it's harder to continue on the channel when you're having issues with snow and the cold. All year round, you can do car content in Florida. Now, up here, don't get me wrong, even while I'm down there, if there's snow up here, I will bring the all-wheel drive when it's done up here and do a bunch of cool snow videos and do a bunch of stupid stuff with it because that would be amazing. That's what that car would be built for. But in the overall, the grand scheme of things, I think Florida is just a better look for us, just car-wise. The culture, everything is down there. And again, the weather, I could work all day long. I can work at nighttime and with the garage door open. Here, it's the sun's freaking out at 4. I mean, the sun's down at 4 p.m. It's pitch black by 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
you can barely vlog.
It's pitch black right now.
Yeah, it's pitch black right now, and it's 4:30. So it's it's crazy. You're trying to get vlogs out. It's just the whole time of things. It affects people. Don't realize how it affects, or how can I say this? The little things that you don't think as a regular person that's not a YouTuber. You need the daylight. You need this. You need that. There's so many things that come into play to have success, and obviously you could see a lot of those channels that have success that are down that way, or at least further down south. It's just the overall living, and on top of that living, man, Connecticut's expensive, bro. I'm not gonna lie,
Connecticut's New York.
New York.
Yeah, Connecticut's New York. Yeah, I mean, you guys are an hour away from where I live, which an hour is nothing.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah, no, it's nothing at all, dude. Yeah, it's a joke. So it's the on top of the fact of the weather, which just is ridiculous, it's like a rat race up here. You're trying so much to do, and it's on top of the fact of the let me say the taxes and just how expensive it is. Then you add on, you got to pay for heating, and
Yep.
them heating bills are not cheap. There's just so many things. It's like if I go to Florida, my cost of living will automatically dramatically drop, and I will be able to save more money to just do more builds and have more fun. And plus, it'll be a different experience. And my wife is looking. The good thing is that because I had a family, so I have to include them in those types of decisions.
I'm just
not
really?
Gonna be like, hey, well, you're coming because you have to. And she's ready to go. Her bags are like she's been ready to go, but it's just a matter of when we can get stuff like kind of more done, because I don't want to just go down there with a lot of these projects the way they are. Like I want to go down there with at least the body on the Bronco. The Scat Pack is definitely one that I'm going to be finishing up so that we can flip that, and then that'll definitely help us.
That's so exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be so many things. The Scat Pack, we are working like crazy because my compressor broke. We were supposed to be had it painted already, or not the compressor, like this dryer to get water out. Remember earlier when you guys were trying to get on with me?
Yeah.
You probably heard some grinding or something. Or no, the thing wasn't working. But I'm grinding, trying to fix some stuff here, like 2 minutes before our live stream, because I have to get this done. When I'm finished with you guys, I gotta jump back on this, run to Home Depot, and it's a lot of stuff. But I want to finish that car, sell it, so that way we'll be able to finance the final little tad bits. Like I think for the all-wheel drive Hellcat, everything is done. It's literally programming and getting, because of the whole COVID thing, there's a back order on clusters and everything.
Yep.
So it's going to cost around $3,000 to $4,000 to get that car running. Just the cluster alone is $1,700. $700 for the main cluster, but then they charge $1,000 core. And because I don't have an old core to give to them, it's $17 just for that. And then you got to think of the other computers, which is like a BCM, the key fob. Like there's all these things. It comes out to like $3-4 grand. So, I can't wait to just get the all-wheel drive going because it's been sitting ready. The suspension, everything is done. It's literally computer and programming. That's all. I'm
sick.
so mad because I stare at it every damn day and I'm like, you're going to get running soon.
So I wanted to say this because one of my favorite things about your channel is you're very family oriented, and I love that. Like literally, I think you're one of the few channels that has your wife working with you. I can't even get Emily to look at. Emily's my girlfriend. I can't even once I'm fixing something in my car, Emily's like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, how did that come about? Like, when did you guys meet, and you guys were working on cars already separately? Or?
No, God, no. It was Jesus. Okay, so when me and my wife met, she had nothing. She didn't know nothing about cars. Like I didn't know nothing about cars. Like to be honest with you, like cars are so far from both of our lives. And but what ended up happening was I was going to school to be an RN, and I remember I picked up my first car was a Saturn Ion Redline. Now I remember, like it was supercharged. Yeah, it was supercharged, twin cam. But I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't know anything about that. I picked it up from an ex that crashed it, and I got the car. I fixed it with a buddy of mine because I didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
And I remember when I finally got it running, my buddy JJ, who's been on the channel a few times, I'm learning how to drive stick. He gets in the car and he just pulls on it. And he's like, dude, what the hell is in this thing? No, he's already a mechanic. I don't know crap. And then we go to another buddy of mine's that I used to just have him fix my cars. And they showing me what I have. And it's just crazy because that was my first time of learning about cars. And then fast forward to when me and my wife got together, I got a Mazda 6. And I caught the car bug for real, like really. And I ended up leaving school to just pursue cars. I don't know why or how, but I just did. And I kept with the car thing. And then one thing led from another. And I went from doing mechanic work to my uncle, who's a master mechanic, was like, get into body work and just learn how to do body work. And then my wife. So then in that weird like in the whole timing, everything, my wife, she was already with me, and I was like, hey, it'd be nice if you could help me. And like that's how it happened. Like I was like, hey, can you help me out with some of this stuff? Like it was nothing. She just was dragged along into it. And it's crazy because a lot of people think like, oh, she's only doing it because he's forcing her. And there is like I don't force her for like to help me with the cars, but like when we were first doing all this stuff before even YouTube, we did it because we needed to make ends meet with certain things. Like we're literally hustling, trying to just get cars done. She's sanding and taping. I'm freaking welding and painting. Like it was just a big. I wish I would have recorded all of that because I swear, like we would be so much bigger. Like it's just crazy if you guys were to see the whole beginning of everything. It was funny. There was just a lot, and especially me, I was a lot dumber when it came to cars. Holy crap!
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, I'm still not there. I still there. I learn new stuff every day, but man, I couldn't tell the difference between like a muffler and a spoiler. Like, like it was bad. You know, you could have sent me to the store for blinker fluid. I would have. You know, and the crazy thing is, you know, and while doing all of that, and her helping me, she was also going to school. So that's the crazy part. She was going to school for nursing, and because I my butt withdrew, and everyone thought I was crazy, you know, and I just kept, I want to do YouTube. I want to do YouTube. And then finally, when I decided to just go into that full-fledged, 100% her support, she supported me through that whole process. And you know, that's why when people see her, like, she's the one, like, while I've been trying to fix the compressor, you guys can see in the next vlog, she damn near got that whole interior out. She pulled the dash out, pulled the seats out, pulling the top of the freaking headliner, doing the airbags. Like, she's, thankfully for me, she's a beast. Like,
we see it.
The monster. Yeah, she's a complete animal. So now that kind of helps me out. Because while I know a lot of guys, you know, they're like, oh no, I would never want to do that, and I wouldn't make her. It's like she's just so supportive that she's like, no, we got to do this because this is not only our future, but like this is how we started, you know. So it kind of like it's just, I don't really know what to say. It's just crazy how things worked out, and she supports me. That's it.
Well, it says something about your relationship for sure, because you know, I mean, at least for me, the famous phrase or the famous test is always like, can you teach a significant other how to drive stick? Usually that ends up in like a total failure. So like you have to have no, seriously.
That's why I did it in snow.
What's that?
That's why I did it in snow.
That's why I taught her in snow.
Oh wow, you're cruel.
No, it was easier for her because then she's not gonna be jacking up the tires and grabbing. The snow's gonna slip. So if she's missing a gear or anything, it's just gonna spin in the snow. So she's kind of better off that way. You know, it just worked out that way. But yeah, no, I definitely. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like it's don't get me wrong. You know, our relationship is definitely strong. We've been through a lot together. Like that's the only reason why, you know, we've been together for a while. We've been through a whole lot, but our relationship is definitely unique. In the sense of 1 minute we can like, because we're very different but alike at the same time, and we're very strong, opinionated, and we are very passionate. And there's times where we're like, and then there's times like we love the hell out of each other. But that's just our relationship. You know, it's never
that's
perfect,
all relationships.
Yeah, you know, it's not like it's a perfect, you know, like I understand like some people sometimes think like you see a lot of these YouTube fans that paint a beautiful picture of like, you know, everything is perfect and everything is good, and you know, then behind they're like literally killing each other and just want to just leave each other. And you know, we may have our disagreements, we may have our arguments. We work on cars. We're already mad because of the car sometimes pisses off. The bolt is not coming out, and she's just like, or no, earlier, perfect example, earlier, she's trying to get a plug out. Oh my God, it's a freaking plug. And she's like, babe, there's a red clip on the side of it. And I'm like, no, babe, it just, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, babe, it's just, so I'm going there and I'm trying to undo the clip. She's like, you see? Because you know how women are. You see, I'm not wrong. You know?
So you know how women are.
I literally just push it back in and then I hit the clip and pull it out easily. And it's just dumb silence. And it's like the funniest thing because I just look at her like, so yeah, it was just the button, you know, and I walk away because, you know, you want to avoid that. But, you know, there's just those things where it's very frustrating. Just working on cars is frustrating, but it also builds how to be patient. And that's one thing that I know that I've been able to learn, and I'm still learning every day, is like working on cars and working together. It's tiring, but then at the same time, and I tell her that all the time of how blessed we are to be in the position that we're at, because while there's people that either don't want to do this or don't want to do that, we have the freedom. Like if whether our kids get sent home from school, we can still continue. Like the show will still continue. It'll be a little hurdle, but we can at least do what we like to do, and we're still able to support have some financial support, or pick up and go to Florida and not have to worry about, damn, am I going to get hired? No, I'm still vlogging. I can just go down there and do it, you know? So there's a lot of benefits to it. And, you know, I think she's been able to see that now, especially with everything happening since this whole situation with COVID. Where, you know, she's definitely supportive, like I always said, and she's always had my back. And I think now we're be able to reap some of those benefits.
Well, I was gonna say you know that you're really starting to test each other's patience when you start calling each other babe.
Yeah, babe. Listen, babe,
you got to do it this way. No, you got to do it this way, babe.
That is literally, you know, I'm telling her, babe, do it this way, and she's like, why can't I do it this way? And I'm like trying to just do it this way. It's easier. And you always will have those moments, and sometimes I'll just let it go. But then there's sometimes like, because you're doing it wrong. Like there's a right way to do it and a wrong way. Well, why does there only have to be two ways? Because that's just the way it is. You know, it's not. You know, I don't know. Like you want to do everything harder. Like by all means, like you can either break your back trying to use a freaking wrench or just take an impact and take it out. You know. So you know, there's just we have a lot of those moments, unfortunately.
Well. And I wanted to mention, you know, that like that's the reason why I mentioned that too is I love the fact, obviously, D.I.Y, you know, gang is a family. You know, that's what you always put out there. Like literally, we know your tias, your primos, your nephews. You know, we know them all, man. And that's amazing that you do that. You know, because a lot of people don't do that. You know, you give them rides, and even the kids, some of your cousins and your kids know about cars. Like they're literally talking about them. You know, so that's dope.
Yeah, man, I try to involve them. It's just crazy because, you know, sometimes you think, especially like in today's culture and how separated everyone is, or, you know, and even myself, when I was doing Phoenix, I caught myself being such a workaholic and spending no time with my kids and family. And there was a point where, like, you know, I said, hey, listen, I wanted to walk away. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. That's sometimes my problem. Sometimes I come off to, like, when some people, a YouTuber says, yeah, you know, I'm going to take a break. Me, it's like, man, guys, I feel like I just want to give up. You know, I'm going to walk away. And instead of choosing the right words, you know, you say something like that, which it will hurt your channel. It could definitely kill a channel. Luckily, you know, I have a good, loyal fan base that, you know, supports us and understands, you know, the struggles. And, you know, we're getting back into the groove of things. But I know that now family is definitely an important thing that you need to involve, because, you know, once you lose that time, whether it be when the kids grow up or just, you know, God forbid something happens to someone or anything like that, you know, you don't want to live with regret. The same way I don't want to live with regret as far as making my decisions on finances or doing these crazy things. It's like, how much more to just appreciate someone else's time or have a laugh with someone. And I think the biggest one was when this kid that I knew from Phoenix's build, that he passed away. It was one of the Dodge one of the Dodge guys that sold me parts. Randomly, my age, passed away. Like I just had talked to him, randomly passed away, and I go back there and I get the news. And what's crazy is that I had some behind the scenes takes, because he wasn't really a camera person. He was very camera shy. And it's funny because when I was invited I was told to go to where the funeral was at, and I was like, yo, let me go pay my respects, because I just known this guy for like a month and a half, but like we got like really well.
Right.
And his family, I guess he was telling his father about me. Like they didn't know who I was. So I show up, and then I'm just going to pay my respects, and then I go and say, hey, man, you know I don't really know him like that, but, you know, I just wanted to just be here. You know, I'm proud of you guys don't even know me. And they're like, wait, you're that YouTuber guy, right? And it was just so crazy. He's like, he couldn't stop talking about you, like how you guys got along. And I was like, well, I actually have some behind the scenes footage of us cracking jokes, like of even last week, because he didn't like taking pictures or anything. So the fact that I was able to have this for them to have for closing, just to be able to see, it was like, the father was so thankful for that, because they had nothing. Like, there's no, like I said, he hated pictures, or nothing he hated, but he just wasn't like into all of that. And so then me having all these behind the scenes things, you know, it helps me, or makes me realize, like even the other day, you know, you get to see all these fun videos of your kids growing up, or, you know, you have all this stuff to look back on. It's like, I make these videos for you guys for entertainment, but at the same time, I will have this stuff to look back on when I get older, you know, when all this is said and done. One, I can have something to pass off to my kids, but also just these memories that you cannot remake, you know. So that's a big thing to me. You know, I know a lot of guys, they do it just for money, or, you know, just for the clout. And it's like, obviously money and clout are great to have, but I think for me, it's just to have those memories where, you know, it's irreplaceable, man. You can't pay to get those memories back, you know, so you got to make them while you're here.
Well, and trust when we say, you know, that's the reason why we mentioned it, because we see it through the videos. we see that you're passionate about it, and you do it with love, man, and that's awesome. That's the reason why you're growing, you know. So
Yeah,
congratulations to that, man.
But I was gonna say, let's talk about the future, because you know, we touched on the fact that you're obviously moving to Florida, but like, what are some next
what's
plans?
next for D.I.Y Gang?
Yeah.
So as of right now, what's next for me? Jeez. Going to Florida, it's actually, so the way it is because like I told you guys, we don't come from money. My family is not like, we're not broke, but like I can't just be like, hey uncle, or hey bro, can you give me like 40, 50 G's? You know, it doesn't work that way. And I've been able to work and make all this stuff happen. And now going forward, like I want to be able to get projects done, like the Bronco, for instance, the Bronco. If I can get the Bronco done and get that sold, one, I think that'll be great content, and just to be able to be part of, like, you ever seen when like Gas Monkey or Bitch and Rides, all these people that they fix cars and then send them to like the auction, and they have like, they make all this money, and it's like, yo, we could go do this now, we could buy this, make more. So I'm right now in this phase of where I'm trying to get these projects done, because, well, one, obviously, you know, the videos, while we do make money, it's not enough to be able to just, you know, go ahead and do all the crazy stuff that we would love to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was smart enough to take a lot of the money that I made and reinvest it to the projects that I know are going to be worth money when we go to sell them. So when I get all this stuff done in the future, D.I.Y Gang, I want to be able to continue, obviously, to do cool, fun builds and stuff like that. But at the same time, make content that's not just always having to fix the cars, but actually enjoy them. You know, because what's the point of always working on cars if you don't get to enjoy them and have videos of having fun with them? You know, it's like, I kind of get jealous when I see some of these guys that don't have to rebuild cars because they have the funds to be able to just buy them and do all this craziness. And it's like, for me, I think my channel, I want it to be a little mix of everything, where it's like obviously fixing, rebuilding cars, because we already know how to do that, and why not, you know? But at the same time, modding, having fun, doing a bunch of stupid crap, and if we break it, who cares? Because we're going to be the ones fixing it anyways.
Yeah.
You know? And also, just for my kids' sake, me and my wife talked about this, because I know that, you know, my kids are very, very outgoing. They're very good on camera and stuff like that. I
wonder where they get that from.
God, she has it, right? My wife said, go fast in cars. We definitely want to be racing. And I know the Florida scene, one thing I want to also say that I didn't mention, because I get off topic a lot. The tracks don't close in Florida. Ooh, you know, so we can actually do racing content, me versus the wife, and things like that. You know, I want to be able to bring, so it's like, because see, for right now, and even my buddy, which I'll touch a little bit on that too. You know, I have no problem sharing this, but it's like a car channel. I feel like sometimes they put the stigma of like, okay, well, this is a rebuild channel, or this is like a racing channel, and it's like, I want the channel to be able to be whatever fun I can have doing, you know. So it's not like, if you look at Cletus, he's having a bunch of fun. He has obviously a freaking team behind him now, but you know, they're having fun, enjoying themselves with the cars that they have. And for me, it's like, that's what I'm noticing, especially now. It's like, you see, I guess let's just go, I don't know, you see Strad, you see Cleet, you see Weston, you see all these channels that have different things to them that are very, very unique, but at the same time, they're just the main, what can I say? What is it? The factor, the common factor, is it?
Yeah.
Like
the
foundation. They're enjoying themselves. And while I do enjoy building cars, I'd enjoy more racing my wife and beating her all the time. And putting it on YouTube. Yeah, I would enjoy that. You know, she's texting me, no, I'll beat you.
But, yeah. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, man.
Oh, no, listen, that's one thing that I will honestly say, that me and my wife are not no, we are competitive as hell.
Hey.
Like, that's one good thing that, like, you know how some guys, they'll let their girls win. No, I will not let her win. Like, it's not happening. Like, I don't, and that's what makes us, is that we're so competitive. And luckily she's not, like, obviously when she needs to be girly, she'll be girly. But when it's time to get serious, like, this girl played sports. She's really about it. So it's, for me, it's refreshing, because I have that partner where I don't have to worry about her not liking something or doing something. Like, she'd rather go, I don't know, go to the batting cages as opposed to go watch a movie. You know, like, she's very active, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Nice, man.
Well, that's great to hear, man. Well, you know what? We don't want to keep you for too long. I think we appreciated everything, and obviously we're going to keep watching the channel. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, make sure to subscribe to D.I.Y Gang. You know, my boy's doing great work, and I'm excited for the future, man.
Yeah,
man. The future. Yeah, it's.
We got to figure out wheels for the Scat Pack.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We definitely got to listen. We got to figure out. Don't worry, I was gonna call Scott because I need room for the Scat. Well, no, did I tell you guys about the Miata, the wide body, like because it has Koenigs on it?
Yeah. The
Miata has Koenigs, but after that whole carbon fiber Japan wide body kit, you know, Scott's actually. It's my fault. I haven't sent him any measurements. I was supposed to do that like a month and a half ago. But
trust me, he's got plenty of other things going on. So
yeah, I am 100%. I know he's not. It's not like he's texting me, "Hey, where are the signs?" Thank God. But yeah, man, no, there's a lot of great things happening. Yeah, we could definitely figure out rims for everything that we got going on. And I just can't wait to get to Florida, man, because there's gonna be more help. Let's go with that. There's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be a lot easier, and it's the setting and the environment I'm gonna be coming into is going to be a lot less stressful for me. Obviously, I'm having fun and everything, but, you know, behind the scenes, sometimes people don't realize the amount of stress that one carries when you have such a workload and you're trying to keep up with the production, raise a family, and do all this stuff. And, you know, I think in Florida, it's going to be a whole other vibe that cannot wait for. Like, I look so forward to it.
Yeah,
nice,
man.
We wish you nothing but the best. It sounds super exciting. We can't wait to see, you know, what the new location brings in terms of, you know, lifestyle and your content and all that stuff. And
you already know if you need anything, you let us know.
Man, I'm growing the mullet, man. Y'all don't even know.
Oh, hey, man,
he's ready. He's ready.
I'm going.
He's about to be riding.
I'm going to be just reckless. One thing I do want to get really into before I never knew how to drift. And I'm not saying that, but golly, man, it just looks so much fun. It's like, you know, and it's just one thing that I would love to do. And I know that Miata can definitely do some drifting in that, because that thing, the way I'm building it, and I cannot wait to reveal, there's a few hidden things that one of my buddies who does, his brother builds NASCARs. And I got some lead weights that we're going to be melting down and putting actual weight distribution throughout this car. So it's going to have actual weight to balance that whole, because right now it's front heavy. But we're going to put about 400 to 500 pounds in the back of that car, and it should be able to help with some of the sticking, because that's the biggest right now. It's that car just doesn't hook. It burns out everything.
So that's the place to be at, too, for drifting. I mean, they got a out there, Taylor out there. You know?
There you go. He's good.
Orlando Raceway, you know, you go over there.
There's so many. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm hoping just one of them, because I know I'm not as big as, like, some of these guys and all that. But, you know, all I'm telling you guys is if you guys know any of them, be like, hey, man, you want to help out D.I.Y? Team up, man. You know, that would be cool, because I would love to get into that type of environment and just the whole – it's because the car community is so big, and I feel like sometimes, like I mentioned already once, it's like, you know, I don't want to just be a rebuild channel. I want to be just an overall just fun – car fun. That's what it is, just living life in my way with cars, of having fun with cars. That's it. Whether it's rebuilding them, flipping them, crashing them. If I'm crashing, it's because I'm racing them. You know, there's just gonna be a whole lot of you know, things here and there. But yeah, man. And like I said, you guys are more than welcome to come out. I would love to just entertain you guys. And yeah, man, we just full send. We
appreciate that.
For anybody who hasn't subscribed to your channel or doesn't know where to find you, just shout out your channel, your socials, etc., real quick, just so people can find you.
Yeah, the channel is D.I.Y, like Do It Yourself Gang. God, I don't even know how I came up with that name, but yeah, that was just literally like, D.I.Y Gang. That's on all the socials. Okay. I'm thinking about possibly changing the name, but that's another topic for another day.
You heard it first on the Behind the Wheel podcast. He might change the name.
But listen, I'm gonna let you guys go because I literally have to get back to work.
Do it, brother.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Of course.
Shout out to Koenig, guys. If you haven't grabbed some rims, trust me, they are a company that really is here to help people, because you guys were like working with me. You didn't even care about size. I remember Scout was like, dude, we like to help the culture out. We like to help out big and small. It doesn't matter. So, you know, they're a great company to just work with. The customer service is awesome. And yeah, man, you guys got some sick looking rims.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Dude. You have a good one, man, and happy holidays to you and your family.
Same to you guys. And again, you guys got the rain check, so you guys can come on down when the cars are done.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
All right. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Well, that was Really nice.
What a great story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
man.
I mean,
Such
look,
a cool
you got
story.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's it's the headphones.
Sorry.
All right, we
Pause. But
yeah,
man, that was a great conversation, man. His story is a good one, man. Like I said, I'm a fan because of the family-oriented channel that he has, and yeah, man, I'm excited for him to do big things.
It's so cool that like, oftentimes you hear that like people only have a certain persona when they're on camera for their channel. He's
exactly the same.
Way.
Yeah, he's exactly
so
the same.
Cool.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, without further ado, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure once again that this Friday you tune into our YouTube channel. We're going to be releasing some content. It's going to be a garage tour with The Auto Shop with Tony Fuentes. Make sure you check that out. And then next week, we should be having Brian Gillespie of VTech Academy joining us. And
we'll be back to our regular schedule.
3 p.m. Make sure to subscribe and like all these videos because, why not? I mean, you're here already. Tell a friend. Don't be whack. All right. Have a good night, guys.